Ladies and gentlemen, Marcelo Llorente.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm certainly delighted to be here. I'd like to thank George and Jeff for putting this event together and for extending me an opportunity to share a few thoughts with you this afternoon, and I'll promise to be brief. I'd like to commend the National Eagles and Angels Association. This is an incredible organization with national reach, and I'm excited to learn more about what's going on across the rest of the country. But I can tell you, as we sit in this room with a great skyline and views in the building that I hope you're able to enjoy. It's nothing that's unfamiliar to those of you that live here in Miami, but certainly a treat for those that are from outside. We feel very privileged to live in Miami-Dade. I was born and raised here, went away to school, came back, served 8 years in the Florida House of Representatives, and I can tell you when I ascended to the position of Chairman of Appropriations, where I had a budget of over $30 billion, I really realized in a very direct way how incredibly important small businesses are to the economy of Florida. The statistics that George referenced are very accurate and true. And I think now more than ever, as we have faced a very difficult economic challenge, it has been the entrepreneurial spirit of the people of this state and certainly of this community to move this economy forward. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of that. You know, one of the things that is inherent in me and in my experience and my family background is that my parents immigrated from Cuba over 50 years ago, parents and grandparents. My parents were very young. My maternal grandparents invested their life saving in buying a very small business. And those of you that are from Miami may remember a little store called Fabulous Diamonds. It was a little novelty store located off of 57th Avenue by the airport. And it existed prior to the times of the Michaels of the world and the Party Cities. It sold a lot of stuff, party planning stuff and all that. And so I grew up in that environment and in that business and realized what the value of hard work is and what it is to have that entrepreneurial spirit that essentially forces you to take risks sometimes, but the rewards can be long lasting. And so as we move forward in our economy, not only here in South Florida, which we believe is so poised for the great opportunities out there. When you look out at the seaport, we just were able to convince our governor to expend an extra $70 million to ensure that we expand our port, that the dredging of the port occurs in time for the expansion of the Panama Canal that will occur in 2014. That's going to generate over 30,000 jobs for the people of this community. We're incredibly excited about that, and I think that's what government's role is. I know we're here to talk about small business and private equity and investing in our business, and I would urge you to invest in our people and in our community here. But as you look at what government's role is, in my experience, government's role seems to be to get in the way. And I think that's completely contrary to what should be occurring. That's something that I pledged to the people of this community, and I think County Hall epitomizes how burdensome, how costly it is oftentimes to do business in this community. As I made my way around, and as you know, Miami-Dade County, for those of you that are not from here, Miami-Dade County is a community of over 2.5 million people. Our county government has over 28,000 employees, over a $7 billion budget. And if you meet with small business owners like I'm having the privilege of doing as I'm making the rounds in the community, they'll tell you that it's incredibly costly to do business here in many instances. Whether it's a car dealership that was looking to open and just by the permitting process alone took over 2 months to get a permit that should have taken 2 weeks. Whether the procurement process is too cumbersome, too costly, and relies too much on who it is that you hire rather than what the product is that you're selling and what the structure it is and that you're trying to present and work with government on. I think we have a direct way of bringing about the reforms necessary to change that. So we have a more business-friendly climate that allows this entrepreneurial spirit to thrive. It's been the experience of my life in my family-owned business that I had a chance to grow up in. It's been that case in the practice of law for me, practicing law for over 10 years. And being in that private sector and going through the tough economic times just like everybody else is in this community. And I think that's why, for those of you that aren't familiar, we had over 200,000 people in our community that went out a few weeks ago and decided to recall our mayor and recall a county commissioner, something that's quite historic and extraordinary. And I think they went out because they feel that our community, our government and its leaders are disconnected from what's happening in our lives. They're disconnected because they're enjoying all of these perks that are long outdated. They're disconnected because the reforms necessary to change the culture of county government and government in general is long overdue, and something that people are asking for and demanding for. So we're looking at a special election now on May 24th. Well, the county commission will set the date formally, we expect, on Monday the 11th. But it's an incredible opportunity. It's an opportunity, and as I speak to folks across our community, it's an opportunity for our next mayor to be somebody that can sit with businesses, not only small businesses that live and reside in Miami-Dade County, but across our state and across our country, and I would say across the world, and lure them here by saying, we want to work with you. We want to create a climate that's business friendly, that allows you to move forward, that allows you to invest and see that return on the investment, not only invest in a financial way, but invest in our people. I believe we have the hardest working people in the world in this community, a work ethic like none, a vibrant community that's so diverse, and of which I am so honored to be a part of. You know, we have a responsibility. You know, my grandparents and parents came here and fought tirelessly to provide me the opportunities that I feel so blessed to have today. And I think it's incumbent upon us to continue to pass it along down to our kids and to our grandkids. I have two little ones, a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I can tell you that I find no other greater reasons to do what I'm doing today and to continue to further the opportunities for those in our community than looking at the future that we want for them. A lot has gone on in this community. All you have to do is look around. If you haven't been here in a few years, you look around and it's changed significantly. But I believe we have such incredible opportunities to do more. And so when you look at our economy, not only in Florida, not only in South Florida, but nationally, you look at the great opportunities that there are for economic growth to stimulate the private sector and focus on that. You know, we in Miami-Dade County have an opportunity to create high-paying jobs, and we have a climate like none. We're perfectly situated from a geographical perspective, and our people are educated, they're diverse, they're go-getters, and they're looking to seek those opportunities. That entrepreneurial spirit is as alive today as it was 50 years ago, as it was 25 years ago. And I think coming out of this, as we hope to and expect to come out of this difficult economic time, that now more than ever, people are looking for opportunity, they're looking for capital, they're looking for people like you to invest in them and to invest in their businesses and their ideas and join them in that journey. So I look forward to hopefully meeting all of you before I leave here today. I hope that you come back often, that you, if you're from here, that you get engaged not only in the political discourse, which I believe is incredibly important and very relevant to the business model here for each and every one of you, because we really do need a government that understands the plight of small business. We need leaders that have experience in the private sector, that know what it is to have to fight for a paycheck every single day, that knows how difficult it is to continue to employ those around us, even when it's not easy to do, and move forward. And I think the greatest thing that we're talking about in our campaign, unlike other candidates who are unfortunately, I think, focused on, in many instances, the negative and talking about the past, we need to look to the future. And for me, that future is very bright. Again, we live in an incredible community of incredible people, and I believe the opportunities are limitless. We got to focus on improving our educational system. We believe that. I believe we need to have a mayor that can go to Tallahassee, where I spent 8 years, and talk to our governor, go to Washington and talk to our president when there are important projects such as the port dredging. Focus on our educational environment, because that, and I believe, is incredibly relevant to you all, but it's one thing that I consistently hear from small business people and from potential employers, is the most important thing that you can do is improve your educational system, because that's improving the quality of the workforce that you have going forward. And I believe as mayor, I would certainly partner with our school board and our superintendent to further those goals. I can tell you there's no more important priority in a parent's life other than the health of their children than the education of their children. And I think that's inextricably linked to the opportunities that we have from a business perspective going forward, not only in South Florida, but across the country. So stay involved, stay engaged. If you're from here, if you're not from here, come here, invest in our business, invest in our people. You will not be let down. And I thank you very much for the opportunity to join you today, and I look forward to spending a little bit of time with you afterwards. Thank you very much.
So we would like to make Marcelo Llorente a honorary blue member of the National Eagles and Angels Association.